So welcome to Amelia Jones. This is a portrait of Amelia at the piano, and I would describe her as both a family caretaker, a patroness of the arts, a world traveler, and a philanthropist for which she left the children of New Bedford a living legacy. Here is her favorite painting, The Carpenter's Son, commissioned by Edward Simmons, a follower of the Hudson School of Art, an offshoot. And she donated this painting upon her death to the Unitarian Church here in New Bedford, where it stood from 1935 until 1996, when they came in and it had been stolen, or so they thought. And then 10 years later, when they were painting the kitchen, pulled back the refrigerator, and this, her favorite painting, in a very damaged state, was hiding there. So they gave it back to us, and with some insurance money, we were able to have it restored, and there you see it today. Here at the piano and in this room is when she would have done most of her entertaining. She was really known, Amelia was, for her theatrical abilities. Starring right here, hosted by the Women's Alliance, of which she was a member, in staging The Ladies of Cranford, one of her favorite plays. She also attended plays in Boston with her father, Edward Coffin Jones, who's also very much a patron of the arts, and attended concerts by the Haydn and Handel Society in Boston, which, of course, some of you will know still exists today. So this was Amelia's bedroom. Her father's bedroom, Edward Coffin Jones, was right next door. And these sort of two rooms constituted sort of a family suite. Amelia, as I noted, was also a world traveler. She often accompanied family members on trips to Europe, went wherever the family needed her to help out, to help her niece, Sarah Klebs, in Chicago, and also to Milton, Massachusetts. But pretty much wherever family members needed her, you could count on Amelia to be there, as one family member lovingly described. With her little suitcase, she would arrive. And we'll step into this room here, which was her father, Edward Coffin Jones' bedroom, which she took over after his death and an accident that she had had, a car accident that she had had in New York. And I just want to call your attention to this elevator, which was installed after her accident so that she could easily come up from the first floor to the second floor bedroom. And this bedroom was pretty much where she spent the last years of her life. Her lasting legacy was the building of Solima Hospital. I should back up by saying, and this is something that I just learned, she actually suffered from some kind of foot affliction when she was 25 years old. Of course, then, in 1874, they would have treated it with leeches. So she also was influenced by her sister, her younger sister Emma, who she took on a trip to Fayal in the Azore Islands, where the family had had business ties, and discovered a cure there known as sun and sea, Solimar in Portuguese, where you were exposed to the curative rays of the sun and smell of the salt air, and whether it was psychological or medical or a combination of both, she thought that it made her sister Emma better. So when she came back to the United States, she discussed it with the surgeon of St. Luke's Hospital, a man named Dr. McSowland, and she donated her farm, her 166-acre farm in South Dartmouth, and later he convinced her to donate first 25, then 50, and then $1 million, a lot of money in 1924, for the construction of Solimar Hospital. One wing for the boys, one wing for the girls, a school and administrative center in the middle, with solariums facing the sea and sun on all three sides, where children suffering from any kind of orthopedic disease could be treated free of charge. And this hospital, pretty much her legacy, lasted until the 1970s, when with the construction and expansion of Boston Children's Hospital, there was not so much a need for it. And she actually served on its board till pretty much the last days of her life. She also gave speeches about women's suffrage, having read Susan Curtis's speech on women's emancipation. So a well-rounded life and a major figure in the history of our city.